We're going to talk about the French election. We're going to talk about the EU elections because you might have spotted on Sunday night there was a right-wing surge all across the European Union. Austria, Belgium, Denmark, Germany, France, Hungary, Italy, Sweden, Spain, Poland, Netherlands. They all went right. And of course, Marine Le Pen's National Rally Party topped their poll 31.4%, enough to spook Emmanuel Macron into making a snap election for later on this month. However, we've got an insider who's about to tell us that it wasn't just the move to the right wing that got people fed up with Emmanuel Macron and his sort of centre-left politics. Peter Allen is a journalist based in Paris, and he's going to tell me it's all to do with bed bugs. Peter, very good morning.
Good morning, Mike. I don't absolutely believe it's to do with bed bugs. That's a conspiracy theory that's been put out by august organs, including Britain's Daily Telegraph.
Yes.
That has been putting all these conspiracy theories down. I've stayed in some of the most horrible hotels right across France in the course of my glamorous life as a newspaper journalist. And I have to admit, I've never met a single bed bug. And the theory is that the Russians put out this idea that the country was full of bed bugs, and it was becoming an increasingly horrible country.
Right.
And the theory is that has affected the Emmanuel Macron presidency, and that's the reason that the far right did so well on Sunday, and the reason they're meant to do quite well in parliamentary elections coming up. All a little bit dubious, but some people believe it.
Well, French intelligence were apparently putting the story around as well, claiming that the Kremlin may have had a hand in the bed bug hysteria. I don't know whether they mean they're actually supplying the bed bugs or whether they mean actually just saying to people that there were bed bugs. But there are cases, are there not, of people saying that they get horribly bitten by bed bugs?
Well, there are cases. Again, I've been all over France and I've never met anybody like that. I've seen beds thrown out windows in Marseille. I remember last summer seeing that. That was quite
I mean, they had the same problem in New York a few years ago. I remember reading about in the New York Times that they actually had a lot of hotels and a lot of apartment buildings in New York which had become infested, and they had to sort of delouse them, as it were.
Yeah, I think it's a problem that's been around for decades, centuries even, Mike. I know that... it's like the rats in Paris, isn't it? They suddenly say that there's a huge rat problem in Paris suddenly, but there's been rats in Paris for hundreds of years. And I think bed bugs are exactly the same. I think if somebody wants to highlight them on social media, suddenly everybody takes an interest. And whether it's the Russians or whatever who's behind it all, who knows? But again, it's something that people use for political ends. Good luck to them.
Well, indeed. I mean, if maybe the bed bugs could vote, maybe they would vote for Marine Le Pen. Who knows? But they probably won't be able to. But it was a pretty stunning victory for Marine Le Pen's party, and as it was reflected in lots of other parts of Europe. So I'm told there were some protests in Paris on Sunday. What was that about?
Well, there were protests last night as well. They are effectively by the left saying that France is on the verge of empowering a party with its roots firmly in anti-Semitism and racism. You look at the past of the Front National, as it used to be called. It's now called the National Rally. Marine Le Pen has changed one word in its title. And she says it's all fine now, it's all very, very moderate. A lot of people don't think so. You look at some of the thugs she walks around with. I mean, look at those pictures.
I didn't see any thugs, to be honest, but I mean, I'll take your word for it. I mean,
well, there are some serious allegations about some of the people who are still in the party, Mike. I mean, that's
I'm sure there are. But what I'm saying is that you can't ignore the numbers of people voting for them, because I think the danger of doing that is the fact is why they've got to where they are. The reason people are voting for them is because they're fed up of being denied what it is that they want.
There's no doubt about that whatsoever. But still, what I'm saying is, as a vehicle for the populist views of so many people and so many unhappy people in France, you cannot deny the antecedents of a party where there have been regular prosecutions, for example, for Holocaust denial, for racism and the like, in very, very recent history. And I wrote a story just a week ago about a former mayor of the party who was making Hail Hitlers and talking about the Nazis in Brittany, and he was arrested just a week ago. This sort of rump is still around within that party, and that is a cause of concern. There's no doubt about it. And
Yes.
it may be that the French nation could do with a party that perhaps reflects the views of the kind of people you're talking about there, Mike, which hasn't got that kind of background. Look at Jean-Marie Le Pen there. He's a convicted Holocaust denier. He's 95 now, but he's still very, very popular within the party.
But he's not standing for Parliament, is he? Peter, thank you very much indeed.